Sliding lower today, but ending off sessions lows as investors are a bit worried ahead of tomorrow's key jobs report. Let's bring in today's market panel. Jonathan Hoenig from Capitalist Pig Hedge Fund and Scott Martin from Kingsview Asset Management. They are both contributors. Jonathan, let me start with you. What are you expecting from tomorrow?
Well, Melissa, I think that's what makes this market so difficult. It's easy to analyze the economics, but the politics, and that's what the jobs number is really is a crapshoot. And, you know, the market is so there's so much intervention now from the Federal Reserve that what worries me is that a great print on the jobs number could send the bond market and then the stock market into chaos. I think we're in a bull market here. I mean, even today, 140 new highs, just about 40 new lows. So most stocks are doing quite well. But tomorrow, the jobs number, it's a big question mark. Once again, when it comes to intervention, anything goes.
Scott, I mean, we got absolutely slaughtered last month, up 38,000. It was way off what estimates were. It was a big surprise for everybody. What are the odds that something like that happens again?
Probably unlikely, Melissa. I think that was kind of the stinker that you get in about every 6 to 12 months in this jobs picture. But I think another key thing to your point is the revisions that we saw just a month ago were absolutely terrible. And I think that's really where you need to look if you're an investor. Is the headline number means something, but also look at the revisions, because that's like a finalized copy of what the previous 2 months had in store. And I think revisions trending downward means that this job market has probably seen some of its best days already.
Okay, let's turn to banks. JP Morgan could be forced out of the UK. CEO Jamie Dimon revealing that the bank might have to move thousands of staff out of Britain if it automatically loses that right to sell financial services to the European Union. Now, Scott, this is something called passporting. It's a great banking convenience that London could lose as a result of the vote. That's a big problem, no?
Yeah, it's a real shame, and it's something, David, that I think wasn't really foreseen by a lot of the Brexiters, if you will, that were talking about getting out of the EU, was the collateral damage that could be created in the job market. Because, let's face it, I mean, let's not overhype this. I mean, banking is not going to stop being done in London. But with regards to how they conduct business with the EU, which is a major partner of theirs in the banking system, that could change, therefore cost the English some jobs.
Jonathan, it's not only going to cost jobs, it's going to cost money. How might it affect JP Morgan stock?
Well, I'm worried about the banks, David. I have to tell you, they are the weakest of all the sectors that I follow, and especially the European banks. I mean, Deutsche Bank is at a 52-week low. Even Goldman Sachs is at a 52-week low. And the European banks, both the UK and the non-UK, have just been obliterated. So, you know, Britain, in my estimation here, has a real opportunity. They're breaking away from the EU. If they go towards more freedom, less financial controls, they could become the Hong Kong of Europe and really grow. My fear is they're going the opposite direction. They'll become more centralized, planned, and that'll be very underperforming for not only the euro currency, but for the euro stocks. And I'd stay away from those for the near term.
Okay, Pepsi popping today, shares hitting a lifetime high as the company beats earnings expectations and is upgrading its full-year outlook. Jonathan, so they said that they did it on the back of naked cold-pressed juices. All right. And new organic varieties of Tostito chips. So if it's a Tostito chip and it's organic, is it good for you?
Well, they have, to their great credit, Melissa, they have capitalized on contemporary trends in modern snacking. Well, it's true, whether it's juice, which is a category that really didn't exist in its format 10 or 15 years ago in terms of its scale, and the organic trend, which, of course, has been going on for quite some time. Pepsi is firing on all cylinders right now. Large cap, multinational stock with well-known brand, consumer-oriented brand names like McDonald's as well. This is a bull market trend, and this is going to stock that's going to continue to rise.
Scott, you know which healthy organic product I like the most from them? The new organic Frito. It doesn't have any salt or sugar. It's totally good for you. No calories at all. Have you heard of this? I don't think
I knew it. It sounds like it tastes. It sounds like it tastes terrible. Melissa, I thought you were going to get Jonathan to talk about naked cold-pressed juices, though, because he won't tell you this, but he is an expert on that product. Pepsi's guidance, though, guys, they raised profit guidance for the rest of the year, which is absolutely incredible in this environment, which to me has very little visibility in it when it comes to corporate earnings.
I love good old-fashioned Fritos. I can't wait. I'm having that for dinner.
From food to Amazon, of course, you can buy it on Amazon. Amazon reaching a new high today for the second day in a row. This as the internet retailer gears up for its major discount event known as Prime Day. I look forward all year to that. Scott, well, let me go to Jonathan first. If I'm holding the stock, do I sell high? Because that's the old motto, right?
David, this stock has been high since its inception. It's been high priced. There's been really no earnings to speak of. But this stock has been an unbelievable monster. And, you know, Amazon, just it hasn't innovated, David. This is a company that has changed the world. And, you know, it's worth, of course, hundreds of billions of dollars
But
today.
do I sell it if I'm holding it? Do I sell it at these price levels?
No. I think you buy more, David.
Wow.
I mean, a stock at an all-time high is
Scott,
a great indication
I do
the trend
love
continues.
Jeff Bezos' grit. We were just talking about how J.P. Morgan's thinking of getting out of England. He's going back into England. He's going to add an extra 1,000 jobs to the UK. That's grit, right? I like that.
Bezos looks for value when others run from it, David. And I agree with Jonathan, actually. Sweep this one. I think Amazon's a buy here. And they do have earnings now, Jonathan. They've turned profit, which is absolutely dangerous for some of their competitors. I think Amazon's an amazing company here.
It seems like yesterday the stock was at $350. I should have bought then. Of course, you know, we should have, could have, would have. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Good stuff.
Thanks, David.
Well,